Brad.
Here.
Commissioner Reinert.
Here.
Commissioner Schulte. Commissioner Look.
Here.
Commissioner Gamache.
Here.
Commissioner Jepson. Commissioner Meisner.
Here.
Okay, all present and accounted for. We'll move on to item number 4, which is consider accepting the regular claims paid over $500 and purchase card claims paid for the period ending October 6, 2023. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Brasted,
Second.
second by Commissioner Jepson. Roll call vote.
Commissioner Reinert.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Brasted.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. We'll move on to the meeting minutes, the approval of meeting minutes from October 10th, 2023. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Schulte,
Second.
second by Commissioner Gamache. Any additions, subtractions, or changes? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those meeting minutes are adopted. Under item number 6, Chair's Remarks, we have 3 items. The first is to recognize the Midwest Medical Examiner's Office, which was recently awarded a very prestigious national award. I'll turn the floor over to Commissioner Reinert, Chair of the Intergovernmental Committee, which oversees the Midwest Examiner's Office, and tell us a little bit more about our special guests.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. This is truly a special occasion as we recognize and celebrate an incredible partnership that has been helping make a significant impact in the field of autism research. I'm honored to announce our Midwest Medical Examiner's Office was recently selected as a recipient of the 2023 Autism BrainNet Appreciation Award from the Simons Foundation Autism Research Initiative. This award recognizes Autism BrainNet's partners' dedication to advancing an understanding of autism spectrum disorders. The Midwest Medical Examiner's Office has participated in this voluntary study for many years. Autism BrainNet's facilities innovative, high-quality research on donated postmortem brain tissue to understand the biological causes of autism and related conditions. A single brain donated to partners like from partners like our medical examiner's office to families helps advance autism research. We are privileged to have a distinguished representative from the Simons Foundation Autism Research Initiative with us today, who will present our office with the 2023 Autism BrainNet Appreciation Award. I'd like to introduce our special guest, CeCe McBride, Autism BrainNet Outreach Specialist, who comes to us all the way from New York, along with some of our outstanding team from the Midwest Medical Examiner's Office to tell us more about this award and the importance of our collective efforts. CeCe?
All right, well, thank you so much, Commissioner Reinert. I'm so pleased to be here today on behalf of everyone at Autism BrainNet to present this award to the Midwest Medical Examiner's Office. Before I present the award, I want to speak about the importance of autism and autism research. Autism spectrum disorder is a heterogeneous diagnosis with many features and medical conditions varying among individuals. It's defined by social communication impairment and restricted and repetitive behaviors. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that 1 in 36 children has been identified with autism, and it's 4 times more common in boys than girls. The brain is the main organ affected in autism. Researchers can study the brain of living individuals by using methods such as magnetic resonance imaging and electroencephalography, but these methods do not allow direct access to brain tissue. Studies of brain tissue are necessary to understand the molecules and cells that make the brain develop and function, and to understand how genetic or other changes affect the brain at the microscopic level. The only way researchers can study these microscopic properties of the brain is by examining the brain collected post-mortem. Autism BrainNet was created with the goal of facilitating and supporting autism research that uses the precious gift of donated brain tissue. An initiative originally formed in 2014, the program is now entirely managed and supported by the Simons Foundation. Autism BrainNet works with researchers and communities affected by autism and other neurodevelopmental conditions to develop a sensitive and effective strategy for acquiring postmortem brain tissue. The donations will contribute a resource that facilitates the highest quality research into the causes of these conditions. The data generated will be shared to enable the development of treatments that improve the quality of life of individuals who are affected by them. We rely on strong partnerships with medical examiners, pathologists, researchers, and families to bring the use of postmortem brain tissue to the forefront of autism research. And since 2014, we have received over 330 donations. The Midwest Medical Examiner's Office has been an essential partner of Autism BrainNet since 2017. They have referred many potential brain donations in that time, and 7 have become donors. For the families who are grieving, they are comforted by the knowledge that their loved one's legacy includes the gift of donation. Researchers around the world would not be able to continue their vital work without this precious gift. We are so grateful for this partnership and look forward to it continuing for many more years. Without further ado, I'd like to present the 2023 Autism BrainNet Appreciation Award to the Midwest Medical Examiner's Office.
Thank you, Cece. Great work. And commissioners, thank you for having us. I'm Shane Sheets. I'm the director of the Midwest Medical Examiner's Office, and over here is Dr. Quinn Piper, the chief medical examiner. This project really hits close to home, so I promised myself I wouldn't get emotional. My son actually has autism, and so this project really means a lot to me. We in the workplace, the forensic technicians, we have morgue operations supervisor Jamie. She's with us today, as well as forensic technician Lacey. The other techs, unfortunately, they're not here. They're busy. They're doing exams for the day or having their day off. But in the workplace, they're working behind the scenes, truly assisting the forensic pathologists in completing exams. The work they do is extraordinary. And not only that, they're assisting with over 1,000 exams a year. It's quite a bit. And then to partake in this voluntary project is nothing short of amazing. I think Anoka County can appreciate that, as well as our expanded coverage area. So yeah, I just want to thank them from the bottom of my heart, and Cece for flying out today. And I didn't get emotional. I think I did good. So thank you. And again, Jamie and Lacey, this is for them. This really means a lot to us, and we appreciate all the partnership. Do you want to say anything, or are you okay? Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. You definitely. Thank you to Cece for making us all the trip all this way to make this special presentation. It certainly speaks volumes of your organization and the commitment to this effort and partners. We are definitely proud of our medical examiner's office. Shane, you're doing a fantastic job over there. Your continued efforts to pursue and improve understanding of the biological cause of autism spectrum disorder is just remarkable. So I don't think we should say that we're surprised that you're getting an award. I mean, your office does phenomenal work, and thank you for recognizing them, Cece. It's a true pleasure to celebrate that here today at the board meeting. So thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Just a quick question. I know you talked about how people donate and get involved, families get involved. I guess I'd kind of like to find out how they do that. Is it, I'm sure with a child with autism, you're seeing a physician and maybe that gets brought up there or whatever. Because I'm just kind of curious how people would find out about it and get involved to donate, perhaps.
That's a great question. We have a lot of resources available online. If anybody Googles autism and brain donation, they're going to find Autism BrainNet. And those resources help families plan for long-term planning if they want to donate in the future. And our clinical team is fantastic. Whenever partners like the medical examiner help us identify potential donors, they're able to speak with the families, provide bereavement support, and help walk them through the process and keep them updated afterwards on what has happened in the research programs. But also something that's really important is for families who are hopefully many years from being potential donors, the research that's happening. There are researchers who are using the tissue, and we make that available as well. On our website, on our social media, we're always posting about that, what they're learning about autism and the ways that this research is helping to support the community.
Thank you.
Fantastic, yeah. Commissioner Meisner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And yes, don't go anywhere, Cece. So, and I'm sorry I didn't ask this when I was chatting with you. So could you elaborate a little bit more? Because that was my question. So you're getting all this information. Obviously, you want to do something with that information at some point. So not you necessarily, you're collecting it. But then what does that look like once you collect the information? You talked a little bit about it, like it'll help communities. Are you working with medical professionals or pharmaceutical companies, or what does that look like?
That's a great question. So Simons Foundation is completely nonprofit, but they support all types of research, autism included. And one of the things that's so great about our foundation is, unlike a lot of research that ends up very siloed, they make sure any researchers who apply for and receive the tissue that they get free of charge has to give that data back. And so the information grows and any researcher can access the previous data that someone else has generated. And the idea is to hope for either therapeutic targets or potentially diagnostic tools.
Okay.
So for example, one of the things that we have learned so far about the brain for people with autism is that it really is different. Sometimes there are genetic components. You all may be familiar with, like, if there's one sibling that has it, there's a higher chance that the other one will, or if there's twins, an even higher chance, or if they're identical, even the highest chance, but it's not 100%. So researchers are learning about how the genes are involved, how the genes are expressed, and what the cells themselves look like. Because right now there is no guaranteed test to diagnose autism, and with an earlier diagnosis comes earlier access to services, and that's something that we're hoping to support down the line, as well as potentially, like I said, therapeutic treatments for those who are most severely affected, like those who are self-injurious, or who are nonverbal, or who have a lot of other associated conditions like epilepsy and sleep disorders.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Well, thank you again for being here, and congratulations. We will move on to item number 2 for chair's remarks, which is a presentation by Canvas Health, which offers mobile crisis response services to Anoka County. Before we invite our guest from Canvas Health up to the podium, I will ask Commissioner Reinert, Chair of the Human Services, to speak again about our partnership with Canvas Health.
Yeah, happy to do that, Mr. Chair. Canvas Health, a fantastic partner for Anoka County. Canvas Health currently provides emergency social services to children and families in Anoka and Scott counties every weeknight from 4:30 p.m. until 8 in the morning the next day, and 24 hours a day on weekends and holidays. Canvas Health is a great asset to Anoka County, particularly regarding child protection. When a child is in danger, crisis workers can be contacted by law enforcement, shelters, hospitals, and other first responders. Staff at Canvas Health can help by developing safety plans, attending to family needs, and by working to keep children and families safe. Crisis workers can help find out-of-home placement for children if that's the best option, and they provide information and referrals to the general public regarding social services available in our community. Canvas Health also partners with one of our local police departments in Columbia Heights to have mental professionals embedded with law enforcement. These workers ride with officers and respond to calls involving mental health concerns, and they follow up on calls that they're not at via referrals. Joining us to tell us more is Denise Kermis, and our Senior Manager of Social Services, and Jessica Torrey, the Mobile Crisis Response Supervisor for Anoka County, who will give us more detailed information about the positive ways in which Canvas Health impacts our county. Jessica?
Actually,
Oh.
I'm going to go
Okay,
first.
all right.
Commissioner Reinert, thank you. Commissioner Reinert, Mr. Chair, members of the board. I'm Denise Kermis, Senior Manager, Behavioral Health and Adult Services. And I have here with me today Jessica Torrey, who's a supervisor of our Canvas Mobile Crisis Unit. And today we're just going to do a really quick overview of our crisis services. Excuse me. What I wanted to do was to give just an overview of some of the typical models of mental health crisis response. We have 3 of them that I'm going to mention today. Crisis Intervention Training, known as CIT, is a specialized training that is given to law enforcement. It developed back in 1988. CIT programs exist in over 2,700 communities nationwide. And we have, over the years, made this training available to all of our local mental health or law enforcement agencies. Co-response teams is a growth area, real growth area in this country and even in the county. I think I've been here a couple of times to talk about some of our embedded mental health professional teams that we have with local law enforcement. Currently, we have 3 examples, and that's Coon Rapids, Blaine, and Columbia Heights. And Jessica will talk a little bit more about the Columbia Heights team that is staffed by Canvas Health staff. And then finally, I wanted to talk a little bit, and this is really what we're going to be focusing a lot on, is the mobile crisis units. They're a specialized mental health-based crisis team that goes out mobily to meet with individuals. Excuse me. The goals of these responses are essentially the same: diverting individuals from the criminal justice system, increasing access to mental health treatment, and introducing more mental health expertise into these encounters. Some of the benefits that we see in mobile crisis is that it really can prevent suicides, death by suicide. It really can support and navigate the individual to the mental health services that they need. It can be very cost effective because it can divert individuals from involvement with criminal justice and also expensive services like hospitalizations or emergency room visits. Finally, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the timeline of crisis services. It began really in 1969 when Canvas Health started the Crisis Connection, where it linked people to local providers, psychiatrists, mental health providers, and it was really funded just by fundraising and contracts at that time. In 2017, there were over 52,000 calls to Crisis Connection. Unfortunately, in 2018, the funding ended. However, the funding then did move over to the 988 Crisis Lifeline number. I think many of you are familiar with that. Excuse me. In 2001, I'm sorry here. In 2001, I need my reading glasses. Sorry about that. In 2001, Crisis Response Services became a covered service by the Adult Mental Health Act. And then 2003, we began our contract with People Incorporated for mobile crisis services and also for adult crisis residential. And they worked with us until 2012. In 2011, we did a request for proposals, and we chose Canvas Health as our mobile crisis provider, and they've been assisting us all these years. And People Incorporated still provides adult crisis residential. They do it in Anoka and also in the metro area. And I think I'm going to turn it over to Jessica now.
Okay, can you hear me okay? Okay. Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the County Board. Thank you for inviting us to speak with you today about our mobile crisis work with Anoka County residents. Next one. Canvas Health began in 1969 in Washington County, and over the years we've expanded to provide mental health and substance use services in several counties with numerous satellite offices, including our office in Coon Rapids, where the Anoka County Crisis Team is currently located. Today I'm going to focus specifically on our mobile crisis team. As Denise said, Anoka County has been contracting with Canvas Health to run their mobile crisis team since 2012. This service is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The 3 main areas of our service include phone triage, crisis assessments, and stabilization services. Assessments and stabilization services are provided in the home, within the community, or by telehealth. Our overarching goals include preventing unneeded hospitalizations, focusing on the immediate crisis and developing a safety plan, and, if warranted, providing additional follow-up services. The areas that we cover in a crisis assessment itself include gathering information regarding the current crisis and mental health symptoms the individual is experiencing, assessing for safety and suicidality, creating a safety plan, understanding the individual's natural supports and services that they're currently using, and making recommendations and referrals to additional services. If following the assessment, it appears that stabilization services would be beneficial, We can provide short-term stabilization with the focus being on short-term goals and coping skills during that transition period to longer-term resources and supports. Our services are voluntary, and we do need consent from the parent or guardian to conduct a crisis assessment unless we feel that the request falls under the emergency statute. There's no cost for our service to the individual. Services are paid for through MA, some health insurances, and the grant from DHS and Anoka County for those who are uninsured. To give you an idea of the volume of services provided, in 2022, we received 6,879 phone calls, provided 984 assessment and stabilization services, and of those services, 89% of those individuals were able to remain in their homes. We are on track to see similar numbers this year as well. So as Denise shared, there's 3 different models of crisis response. There's CIT, co-response teams, and mobile crisis teams. At Anoka Mobile Crisis, we have a hybrid of a co-response and mobile with our collaboration with the Columbia Heights Police Department, which was started in January of '22. This is being funded separately by a grant through the Department of Justice that the police department obtained and through funding by Canvas Health. However, we have structured this such that the 2 embedded social workers are a valued part of the crisis team, but are physically located within the police department and are co-responding out on the streets with the officers. I wanted to share just some information about this collaboration, as it has had a positive impact on the crisis team's connections with the community, but also within the police department. When the embedded workers co-respond or they obtain a referral from officers in which there's a mental health or substance use component, those workers are able to provide the mobile crisis phone number and encourage the individuals to use our number rather than calling 911. As you can see from this slide up currently, there was a substantial increase in the calls to crisis from Columbia Heights residents during the first year of our program. While calls across the county last year increased by about 50%, calls increased 177% just from the Columbia Heights residents. We feel this is a really good example of accessing the right service at the right time. In addition to the numbers that you see on the screen above you or in front of you, our workers have been able to establish trusting relationships with some of the highest utilizers of 911, which has resulted in 28 crisis assessments that otherwise would likely not have contacted mobile crisis, but rather resulted in an unnecessary 911 call. In addition to the positive impact that the embedded program has had on connecting folks in the Heights to mobile crisis services, the officers report positive results in their experience with the program. At the end of the first year, all officers and office staff were surveyed, and all officers and staff found value in the program. There were 2 areas in the department, 2 areas that the department wanted to see some significant impact with this program. And it was 1, with reducing use of force, and 2, reducing the number of transport holds, which ties up police resources, uses unnecessary hospital resources, and the cost of EMS transport. From January of '22 through June of this year, 97% of all co-responses resulted in no use of force. And similarly, you'll see on this slide, we have seen a reduction in the use of holds. 27% reduction in the first year of the collaboration from the previous year, and through June of this year, an additional 14% reduction. And then this is my favorite slide because it's qualitative responses from the officers, and I'll let you read those, but I love this slide. I think qualitative data is more fun myself, so you have fun with that, I hope. And with that, I want to once again thank you for your time today. We appreciate the partnership over the years with Anoka County, and we look forward to many more and exploring additional ways where we may support you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jessica, and Denise for coming here and sharing with us the many services that residents can access through Canvas Health and how your organization connects them to those resources. I also want to thank you for the reduction in 911 calls. We have a significant concern with some of that's happening too, so that's very helpful. But just to give a couple of statistics here, you know, first of all, addressing mental health is a top priority of this county board, as is evidenced by the monies that we make available to our partners. 1 in 5 adults in the United States experiences mental illness yearly, equating to about 43.8 million people. That's significant. It's evident that, you know, people can experience difficulties, and it's not uncommon, which is why county investments in these type of partnerships is so important. And we certainly are impressed with the work you do and welcome this information. I know we had for years kind of been approving, you know, some of these contracts, and one of the commissioners said, well, why don't we get them in here and kind of, you know, explain some of the work they do. And so thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come in and explain some of this to us. We really appreciate that. I got Commissioner Meisner and Commissioner Jepson.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. And yes, thank you so much for giving this presentation, and particularly about Columbia Heights, which is in my district. And I can tell you Eileen is fantastic. And there wasn't a slide about this, but I did just want you to know this as well. I mean, they're Lenny Austin, right? So he has also said, like, within the staff, the mental health of the work that they do, because they have these professionals that are both educating them how they can interact, but then even within, if that's making sense, even when they're doing their job, it has significantly impacted how they work and their mental health. And I know that there wasn't a slide, so it's anecdotal, but that is a consistent information that I get as well. And I think that's really important, obviously, for law enforcement officers to experience that as well. But thank you so much.
Absolutely. I could talk forever, and Denise told me to just pare it down. But that is one of the things, and I've been very impressed myself
Yes.
with how welcoming the officers have been and how much they've learned about how to engage with somebody who might be experiencing a psychotic episode. So it's just been a wonderful partnership for us.
Yeah, and it's been, I'm sorry, I just followed. So yeah, and it's been like really amazing / interesting, because when Eileen comes and she's not in uniform and just like immediately, apparently, right, this I'm just sharing, immediately the way that clients respond is significant, that alone. So it's just been incredible. And then you saw the stats with the numbers of the service of calls that Columbia Heights gets. So this means a lot. Thank you.
Commissioner Jepson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, there really is no downside to this work. So thank you very much for this is very, very difficult work, and appreciate there are partners like you out there doing it and willing to do it. My specific question goes to one of the statistics on your slide. There's a little under 6,000 people that didn't get assessments. So what does success look like for them? What does quality care look like for those individuals that didn't get the specific assessment?
So, are you talking about the total number of calls and the number of there's a difference, right? So at our on our call line, we get a lot of repeat callers who we are trying to encourage to use warm lines rather than us. But we do talk with them, and we do go through their coping skills that we've worked out with them. So that is a large part of extra calls, I guess I would say, not extra calls, but additional calls. Sometimes people just need a few minutes on the phone to say, hey, I just need you to go over this with me. We have folks that call and say, hey, just wanted you to know I'm doing really good today. And we say, that's great, go on. And then we also have third-party calls. So we have to have the individual give us consent to come out. So if you call for your neighbor because you're concerned that your neighbor is experiencing a mental health crisis, we'll call the neighbor and say, someone's concerned, are you willing for us to come out? But if that person doesn't want us to, then we can't go out. So that's parts of the differences.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Commissioner Gamache.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So it's great to hear about this wonderful partnership with Columbia Heights, and it seems to be working really well. What if we, as commissioners, get a call from one of the cities with a police department in our district that is looking to find help in this regard. You talked about Columbia Heights went and got a federal grant, which is something that makes a lot of sense, but there's a cost to it for these cities.
Absolutely.
So I was just kind of curious, who should be their first call if we had a city, let's say we're in Anoka here, and they wanted to do something with their police department, who should they try to call first?
Oh, boy, that's a hard question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So they did get a grant. Their city council has also, was very much behind it, and I think had they not gotten the grant, likely would have. Mandy can probably speak to that, yes. Commissioner Meisner, I'm sorry. excuse
No,
me.
you're fine.
Come to you guys.
Okay.
I have had folks coming to me and asking me, can we start a program like this?
Yeah.
I would love to. I would love to have a social worker in every department at 911. I think it would be great. The funding is the issue, and I'm not an expert in that, I'll be honest.
So we can tell them a little bit about what you're doing, how the program's
Yeah.
working, and then.
Yeah, so what I can tell you is, again, Columbia Heights started with the Department of Justice grant, and their city council was on board. We certainly are happy to assist in trying to locate grants and help write grants for people. So, yeah.
Good. Thank you. That's helpful.
Commissioner Meisner.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm sorry, but I'm so glad that you brought this up for conversation because, so Columbia, you're right, highly competitive grant. So that Minnesota, anyone in Minnesota got it was really phenomenal. Because now we've got some actual data and history. We've got 2 years. It just keeps growing. I mean, my personal opinion is I would love to see a partnership where the cities put some skin in the game, the counties put some skin in the game, but this is the model. Now, I know that that Coon Rapids and Blaine, it's similar to this, but Columbia Heights just is, I think they've got a lot of autonomy and partnerships happening that are a little bit different. So just in the future though, and again, as we're getting evidence-based statistics, like that is my hope that again, county goes in half for the funding, city goes in half, and then again with your help too to kind of fill in any of those gaps. But it's just working so well. It's a good investment, and so I just think that we should be thinking about this seriously.
And if I may, one moment.
And if I could just jump in a little bit, the two models that we had, the original ones, Coon Rapids and Blaine, the county did contribute some dollars to start up, and so did the
$25,000,
Line of Health. And it was with the North Metro Roundtable that we kind of gave them some seed money to get it started. And People Incorporated was also involved. And now they've changed their model to embed and hire staff now in their two law enforcement agencies. So these are 3 models that are all different. And so I think at some time it would be really great to see all of them and have them all present on their model so that the community could see the different options and the different cities can see the different options too.
Yeah, and if I may, at Blaine and Coon Rapids, so those are our employees of the police department. The difference really is that I clinically supervise our staff, so there's a little bit of a separation. And then I'll just quickly, if anybody is interested, this is a new report that just came out from the Police Executive Research Forum. Captain Markham just forwarded this to me. It's all about this kind of growing model, and it has several different models in it. The Cahoots model, the STAR model, and the Columbia Heights model is in here, so it's kind of cool. So anybody that's interested, they can have that.
Commissioner Breasted.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thanks, Denise. I was going to mention the Coon Rapids Blaine, their agreement and how that came to be, but that sounds like that's working very well. And I just wanted to comment, our Sheriff, Brad Wise, does have a priority of treating mental health issues that our sheriff deputies come along. I know he is working on some different things, so I think, hold on, there's more to come. There's a lot in the works. And I'm really proud of the work our board has done, like since 2012 with Canvas Health. Not knowing how this was going to work out, but we knew mental health issues were on the rise, and we're committed to making it a priority and treating it. So it is fun to see the success stories, and I think it's taxpayer dollar well spent. So thanks for all your work.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
so
Oh,
much.
Commissioner Schulte.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just for those that are unaware, our sheriff is the former police chief in Coon Rapids and did implement the embedded social workers there. So it's something he has experience in, and I'm anxious to see what develops in Anoka County law enforcement.
Thank you. Well, thank you for coming in. Thank you for the information, and continue the great work.
Thank you so much.
Okay, our final item today is a resolution supporting Operation Green Light for Veterans. Every year on Veterans Day, this year Saturday, November 11th, observed Friday, November 10th. As a nation, we come together to pay tribute to the brave Americans who've worn the uniform and served their country. It's time to honor and celebrate them all. Our veterans need our continual support. Anoka County is home to nearly 20,000 veterans. They aren't just numbers. They're fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, and friends, and they've made significant sacrifices for this great nation, and we're profoundly grateful for their service. Recognizing the dedication of our veterans, Anoka County is committed to serving them, whether it's through our Veteran Service Office, the MedLink Volunteer Driver Network, or the Veterans Court Program. We are there for them. For the second year, we'll again participate in a national initiative called Operation Green Light for Veterans. The goal is simple: to show support for our military veterans and spread awareness about the unique challenges they face and the resources available to them and their families. As part of this effort, Anoka County will illuminate some of our facilities green from Monday, November 6th through Sunday, November 12th. This is a simple way to remind veterans and their families we are here for them, because when we needed them most, they answered the call and were there for us. Here's where the public comes in. We're encouraging all individuals and businesses in Anoka County to join us by swapping one light bulb in their entryway or window for a green one. This small gesture is a way to honor those who have made immeasurable sacrifices to safeguard our freedoms. By shining a green light together, we can let every veteran know that they're seen, appreciated, and supported. So let's light up the county green and show our gratitude. So that will conclude. Actually, I will introduce Resolution 2023-117, a resolution supporting Operation Green Light for Veterans, November 6th through November 12th, 2023, and I would ask my fellow commissioners to support me in that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That resolution passes unanimously. Commissioners, yes, Commissioner Meisner.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mr. Chair. And well, first of all, I believe it was Commissioner Schulte 2 years ago that brought this initiative, brand new from NACO. So thank you. And yes, of course, I support this. And I'm so sorry. I should have asked this for the Domestic Abuse Month, because now that we're talking about this, I want to say our lights of the county can be any color. And maybe we already did this for domestic violence. We did. Okay, fantastic. So I guess then I just want to put a plug in that Anoka County is also honoring all the different initiatives with our lights, and I think that's great. Thank you.
Okay. I just want to make mention of a couple of guests here this morning. We have Councilmember Angie Bray Johnson of Oak Grove is with us. We have Tracy Strombeck from the Library Board, and we have Councilmember Randy Nelson, also from Andover, joining us this morning. So thank you for being with us today. We are going to move on to committee reports and start off with the Management Committee, which is all informational, and but you can peruse it at your leisure. And the second item in there is the chair report, but we're going to hold that till the end after the public safety report. So please set that aside, and we'll move on to the capital improvements and committee report, which met on October 17th and came away with two action items. The first is the committee recommends the county board approve contract C0010406 with IES, Independent Emergency Services LLC, out of Hutchinson, Minnesota, for equipment and support of the 911 Viper phone system in an amount not to exceed $1.85 million. Significant. Is there a discussion on this? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Brasted.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Schulte. If there's no discussion, roll call vote. Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Reiner.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Item 2 is the committee recommends the county board approve the following professional services contracts related to the Anoka County Secure Pod improvements. The first is the C0010375 with Wold Architects in an amount of $208,000 for the design of the Lino Lakes Anoka County Secure Pod Improvements. The second is C0010376 with ICS in an amount of $527,185 for the construction management of Lino Lakes Anoka County Secure Pod Improvements. We've talked a little bit about these in the past, and this has come before us now for approval. Is there a motion to approve?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I would move to approve both of those contracts.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Reinert. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. And that will conclude the Finance and Capital Improvements Committee report. We will move on to the Human Services Committee report, and Commissioner Reinert.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My committee met on October 17th, 8:30 in the morning, and there was no public comment. We do have a few items for you today. There are 3 consent items. If there's questions on those, we can address those. Otherwise, I'll move approval of the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Commissioner Jepson, moved by Commissioner Reinert. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye. And that passes unanimously. Item 4.
Item 4, we'll move to social services. We have a couple items under that heading. We'd like the board to consider recommending to enter into a memorandum of understanding, contract number C0010371 with Anoka County Economic Assistance for Local Homeless Prevention Aid. And this is funding from November 1st, 23 through December 31st, 29. Basically, these dollars are to provide direct assistance, financial assistance to those experiencing housing instability. These dollars do come from the state. In 23 and 24, it's averaging about $1.7 million. It does fluctuate a little bit from year to year based on some formulas that they use. But basically, yeah, this is funding all the way through 2029. So dollars presented to us and then basically to be distributed through our Anoka County Economic Assistance.
Is there a motion to approve it? Moved by Commissioner Meisner. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Commissioner Jepson. Discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Jepson,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Item 5.
Okay, item 5, related to number 4, and this is to consider the county board enter into the following contracts for annual local homeless prevention aid funding, and it's through the same time period, October 1st, 23 through December 31st, 29. Basically, out of the $1.7 million we're getting from the state, this is to address that need that is in school districts. There are 8 school districts and 5 charter schools that will be receiving some dollars. Basically, they broke off $335,000 from the $1.7 million, and then this is going to be going to schools for that same purpose. There are 13 contracts here, and they begin with C0010353. I won't read them all, but it's 53 through 65, and I present that to you today for your consideration.
Okay, so we've got all the contracts here. Is there a motion to approve all those contracts?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Jepson.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Discussion.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Commissioner Meisner.
I mean, just a point, I mean, the public can see this, but the amount of the contracts are different, and I just wanted to point that out. It's not all equal. It depends on the actual needs and population of each school district.
Yeah, actually quite a range. One school district's getting $813 and another school district getting $230,000. But that is, based on a formula that they're using and the need that exists in each one of those school districts or charter schools.
Okay, I'm just going to read it off. Anoka County Independent School District, $230,000. Bolton Academy Charter School, $2,000. Da Vinci Academy Charter School, $2,000. Centennial School District, number 12, $9,000. Columbia Heights School District, $25,000. Forest Lake School District, $831, $900. Fridley School District, 14, $22,000. Northeast Metro School District, $916. $5,000. Northwest Passage High School School District 4049, $12,000. Paladin Career and Technical High School, $3,000. Prodeo Academy Charter School, $12,000. St. Francis School District Number 15, $2,500. And Spring Lake Park School District Number 16, $19,000. Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Item 6.
Okay, one item left before you today. It's under Job Training Center, and this is to consider the board enter into contract number C0010-351 with the Minnesota Department of Human Resources or Human Services for Project Focus funding in an amount of $132,100 for this year, October 23 through September 24. And these dollars will be used for temporary assistance for needy families, and the dollars come from a state-funded grant.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Gamache, second by Commissioner Meisner. Discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte, Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously.
The rest of my report is informational, and so that completes my report for you today. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Reinhardt. Okay, we'll move on to the Informational Technology Committee report, and Commissioner Gamache.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The IT committee met on October 17th right here at the County Government Center. We had no public comments, and we have one action item today. The IT committee recommends the county board approve contract C000620-2A, the first amendment to the systems maintenance, installation, locate, and emergency services agreement with Zayo Group. This is the fifth annual this is for 5 annual prepaid payments of $35,640 for a total not to exceed $178,200. In 2018, the county established a system maintenance installation locate emergency services agreement with Zayo, who controls the underlying rights to maintain a fiber optic communication system comprised of a network of conduits, interducts, poles, manholes, handholds, fiber optic cables, and other infrastructure. This is a very important part of what we have underground in a lot of areas. So, and the county wishes to renew this contract, this maintenance agreement with Zayo for the maintenance and protection of the county's fiber at the following locations: the Medical Examiner's Office, the Government Center, Rum River Human Services, Rum River Library, and the Sheriff's Office, Bunker Wave Pool, Bunker Beach Wave Pool, and Parks Activity Center, Bunker Hills Park Campground, Library Support Services, and the Blaine Human Services Building. This is all being funded by our IT operating budget, and I will move it.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Meisner, moved by Commissioner Gamache. Discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Reinert,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
That passes unanimously.
And Mr. Chair, there's one informational item on there, and that concludes my report today.
Thank you, Commissioner Gamache. We'll move on to the Property Records and Taxation Committee report, and Commissioner Schulte.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Property Records and Taxation Committee met on October 17th at 9 a.m. here in Conference Room 772 of the Government Center. And we have essentially 2 action items for you today. It's one action item with 2 separate resolutions. I assume you'll want to take them separate. The first is Resolution 2023 PRT4, which is the 2023 tax forfeit classification of non-conservation property for land sale purposes.
Is there an offer of that resolution?
I'll offer that resolution.
Resolution's been offered by Commissioner Gamache. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes.
And the second resolution is 2023 PRT5, that is requesting Department of Natural Resources to approve for sale 2023 tax forfeit classification list. And I'd offer that resolution.
Resolution's been offered by Commissioner Schulte. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. Resolution's adopted.
And Mr. Chair, the rest of my report is informational in nature. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Schulte, for that. We will move on to the Public Safety Committee report, and Commissioner Brassad.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our committee met on October 11th, and there was no public comment. We do have a few action items. The first being the committee recommends approval and execution of the following 2024 law enforcement contract with the City of Nowthen for a term of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024 in the amount of $482,426. There was not much change to the contract except for, as we know, our deputy salaries have increased, so the contract has increased.
Okay, is there a motion to approve contract series 0010293?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Gamache. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Schulte. Discussion. I will just typically it's historical that commissioners that represent districts make motions on these areas or things that represent their area. I did not make a motion on this today because I fundamentally disagree with the law enforcement contracts. And the reason for this is is solely because cities, by comparison, have insurance trusts through the League of Minnesota Cities. Counties are self-insured. Okay, so when a city gets sued, the League of Minnesota Cities Trust represents them, pays out, does all that sort of work. When the county gets sued, the entire county gets sued. Everybody pays for that. And so part of my reservation, and we've talked about this probably at length for many years, but part of my reservation is when we have law enforcement contracts, we are entering into a realm of risk, increased risk, in my opinion. We need look no further than a George Floyd scenario or something of that nature, and the payouts are absolutely enormous. And so there is certain risks the county has to take naturally, and there is other risks that we can get into voluntarily, and that's what these contracts would be classified as, voluntary contracts. So on the basis of that increased risk, I do not support this. I'm not saying that you shouldn't support it. I personally do not want to assume that additional risk, and so I don't vote for these. So that's my explanation, and we have a motion and a second. And any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Opposed?
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert.
Aye.
And that passes with one in opposition. Item 2.
Is another law enforcement contract. It is with the Township of Linwood. This is contract C0010386, term of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024. This is in the amount of $332,513. This one is a little bit unique. Linwood, because it is a township, it did not receive any of the public safety aid, which came from the state in the last session. The county did receive some, so we've agreed to apply $40,000 of our public safety money to this Township of Linwood for this contract.
Is there a motion to approve?
Yeah, move approval of the contract for Linwood Township.
Moved by Commissioner Reinert. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Discussion? Commissioner Reinert.
Yeah, I'll just add a little bit to that explanation for the additional $40,000 to it. In a township, they have their town meeting earlier in the year. Municipalities and counties, we're going through that right now. We have to have a preliminary levy approved in September and then the entire budget by December. And so what they do is they have their meeting early in the year, April, May, and then they decide on what they're going to spend. And then the increase of $40,000 for the contract came after that. And so I want to thank my fellow commissioners for seeing the need there. It's a small township. They have, a very small budget, and so this impacted them greatly. And so having some forgiveness on this first year is really going to help them a lot. And then, of course, next year they can plan for the increase. So I want to thank everyone.
Okay, there's a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Look,
Opposed?
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
That That passes with one opposition. Item 3.
The committee recommends approval and execution of the 2024 law enforcement contract with the City of Andover, contract C0010385, term of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024, in the amount of $3,739,849. Same situation, they've seen an increase due to salary increases.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Gamache, second by Commissioner Schulte. Discussion.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Gamache.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Looking at this $3,739,000, that's quite a bit more than the contract that we used to approve when I was mayor, many years ago. But I know with all the growth and all the different things that the Sheriff's Department has to go through, this has been decades of working together with the Sheriff's Department, and it has served the city of Andover and the residents of Andover very, very well. So I'm very happy to approve this one again, and we'll probably continue down that road.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Opposed. And that passes with one in opposition. Item 4.
The committee recommends approval and execution of contract C0010382. It is for the National Sexual Assault Kit Initiative Grant in the amount of $1,150,000 in a term of October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2026. The Sheriff's Office applied for and was awarded this grant. The purpose is to start a cold case investigations unit. The county will receive the $1,150,000 to fund a detective and a forensic scientist, which we'll be discussing after the public safety report. So it's a great grant. It's going to be, I think, good to serve those cold cases that we don't have the staff to address right now.
Absolutely. I don't know that this really defines public safety better than this grant. So is there a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Schulte.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Discussion.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Schulte.
I think it is notable, we did hear in committee that Anoka County is one of the few counties that's actually caught up on testing all the kits. And that was part of what this grant was originally developed for, was so many kits had been put in cabinets and they just didn't have the manpower to test them all. And this grant was put together to make sure that happened. So I'm very proud of the fact that we achieved that benchmark. And then, of course, the next benchmark now is to analyze those kits and find and convict those that are guilty of the crimes.
Absolutely. Commissioner Meisner.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. And yes, so thank you for helping me connect the dots, because when I was reading this, I'm like, this is a great grant. I wasn't sure, I was unclear if it was the first time we had asked for this grant, but then also I was remembering the built-up kit, or the historic kits that hadn't been touched in years. And that happened, well, at least when I first came on the board, so like 4 years ago. So I didn't know if there was a correlation or if it's just a continuum, but it sounds like it is a continuum. But is it the same grant and we're just applying it differently?
Correct.
Okay, got it. Got it, thank you.
Yeah, the backlog was, across the state, there was a backlog of
Yep.
those Saki,
Yes,
the Saki situation, and Anoka County is caught up now with their backlog. But like Commissioner Schulte said, now there's all these cases that have been sitting there that they need to investigate. So this, I believe they might have said this was the largest. We have Chief Deputy Bill Jacobson here with us. I thought they said this was one of the largest grants that they gave to promote the investigation part of it, now that our backlog has been caught up.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, I don't have the exact numbers for the awards, but this is a large award. Part of that is because we have a unique service setup in Anoka County for major crimes and sexual assaults. In Anoka County, the vast majority of those are handled by, by the Anoka County Sheriff's Office. Even in local jurisdictions that have their own police departments, sexual assaults are primarily investigated by our office across the county, which necessitates a higher need for us. And the same goes for the sexual assault kits and the physical evidence testing. With the Midwest Regional Forensic Laboratory, they serve not only all of Anoka County, but our neighboring counties. So that larger grant is indicative of the larger service we provide and the subsequent larger caseload that can accumulate because of that.
Okay. Further discussion? Further questions? Thank you for your hard work on that. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call vote.
Commissioner Jepson.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. And with that, we're going to go back to the Management Committee report in a bit, right after this, but this ties the two of them together. So, item 5.
The committee recommends adoption of Resolution 2023 PS10, accepting dedicated donation from Anoka County Agricultural Society. What this is paying for, it's in the amount of $4,500, and the Agricultural Society is donating it to the Sheriff's Office to be put towards security for the Anoka County Fair. I'll offer that resolution.
The resolution's been offered by Commissioner Brasta. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That resolution is adopted. Item 6.
The committee recommends adoption of Resolution 2023 PS11. It's accepting dedicated donation from Frontline Foundation. And this is the Sheriff's Office received a Throwbot 2 robot from Frontline Foundation. And this is where they can send this robot into precarious situations. And it's a very generous donation.
Wonderful. Is there an offer of that resolution?
I'll offer it.
Offered by Commissioner Schulte. Discussion? Commissioner Gamache?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This was interesting to hear about, and because of the fact that it's there to help the officers and protect life when something in a dangerous situation that might be occurring. We don't have to necessarily send somebody directly in until it's been cleared out, or maybe even taken care of by the robot. So a great donation, and I want to thank Frontline Foundation for doing that. Thank you.
Commissioner Meisner?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, I wanted to know what a Throwbot 2 robot was, but no, please come up. So I saw, I don't know if it was the same machine, but like a robot at Spring Lake Park, and it was kind of like a Roomba, right? That could go up walls even and had cameras and things like that. Is that what this is?
I brought a photo, Mr. Chair, Commissioner.
Roomba on steroids?
This is the Throwbot 2. This is smaller than some of the other robots that we use because it's designed to be thrown. So you can take a deputy or a member of law enforcement, well, they can pick this unit up and they literally can throw it. They can throw it upstairs, throw it into compromised structures, other areas we can't access, and it has audio, video capability. We can talk, listen, and see with the robot. And as Commissioner Brastad pointed out, we can put the robot in situations where we want to clear first before we put deputies there. So I'm not sure its vacuuming capabilities, but it does serve us quite well in other capacities, Commissioner.
I was going to say, like my children, it doesn't clean.
Thank you.
Cost on that, do you know?
This robot retail cost is $20,000.
Wow, incredible donation, so,
Generous.
yeah. I want to
Very
thank
generous.
Frontline for that. I'm assuming they're expecting we'll buy more.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we have an offer of the resolution. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That resolution's adopted.
Okay.
Item 7.
The committee recommends approval and execution of Amendment Number 2 to the Cyber Law Maintenance and Support Agreement and Statement of Work Contract C0008022A in the amount of $518,343.60. This is our Anoka County Anoka County Attorney's Office is in the process of changing their case management system. So what this does, it allows for our current case management system to continue until we get this new system up and running and make sure the bugs are all worked out of it, if there's any. We're positive there won't be. But then it also allows for us an option for early withdrawal so that we're not stuck into paying a contract when we have something new coming on board.
So it's up to $518,343?
Correct.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve this contract?
So moved.
Commissioner Schulte, second by Commissioner Meisner, was it? Discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Look, Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson.
Aye.
And that
Thank you
passes
all.
unanimously.
And Mr. Chair, if I could just have Chief Deputy Jacobson come back up. I just wanted to point out, he is like a model for the breast cancer awareness pins. And do you have the patch on as well?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner, I don't have, I do have a uniform with my patches on, but
Okay.
it's a short sleeve uniform, and I had to make a tactical decision today regarding living in Minnesota. So I did bring the badge, of course, and I do wear my patches when it's appropriate, but unfortunately, I think we're running to the end of our warm weather, so.
So the sheriff's office is selling these pins and the patches, I believe $10 a piece. They're available at the sheriff's office during regular business hours. I had heard they were selling quick, so is there still a supply available?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner, yes, we have a supply. You can come to our front window anytime during business hours, and you can purchase a patch or a pin. They're $10 each, and 100% of those proceeds are donated to the Firefly Sisterhood, which is that local organization that I believe I talked about last time, but it provides more of a local connection and local support for breast cancer survivors and their families. And we love seeing them. Our jail has been particularly outfitted in pink, which it was nice to see. So it's an initiative that is close to home for me and my family. And in fact, I look forward to it because it's such a unique thing to see on a police uniform that people ask questions, and that I can talk about the mission, I can talk about why it's so important and how people can support it.
That's wonderful. Yes, Commissioner Renner.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that and say, when you go and pick up your patch and your badge, bring cash. Because when I went and picked up mine, you guys don't take credit cards, so bring a $20 bill and you'll end up with a badge and a patch.
Or bring a little bit more and give to a good cause. So,
That works as well.
wonderful. Well, thank you for that presentation. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Brassad. All right, we will move back to the Management Committee Chair Report, which was contingent on the passing of item number 4 in the Public Safety Committee Report, which is the National Sexual Assault Kit Initiative Grant of the $1.150 million that we talked about. And so the Chair's report is a new position for the Sheriff's Office, contingent on approval of that grant as indicated. Contract C001038 Bureau of Justice Assistance National Sexual Assault Kit Initiative Grant, effective October 24th, 2023. This is for one full-time employee, forensic scientist 2, grade 34, ranging from $33.66 to $47.12 per hour, and one full-time employee, detective grade 2104, range $47.10 to $52.47 per hour. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Brassad. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Schulte. Discussion. We wish them well. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. That concludes the chair's report. We will move on to item number 8, which is consider resolution 2023-118, resolution amending budget allocations for Anoka County American Rescue Plan Act funds known as ARPA funds received from the federal government through the United States Department of Treasury. And you will see the attached resolution and worksheet, and kind of lays out the budget of the different items that are were budgeted for, in progress, completed, and kind of gives an idea of how those dollars are being spent.
Mr. Chair, could I offer the resolution?
Resolution's been offered by Commissioner Schulte. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Reinert,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
And that resolution passes unanimously and is adopted. We'll move on to item number 9, which is consider resolution 2023-119, resolution authorizing the use of American Rescue Plan Act local assistance and tribal consistency funds in the amount of $100,000 for the purpose of funding food insecurity within Anoka County. Is there an offer of the resolution?
I'll offer the resolution.
Resolution's been offered by Commissioner Brassad. Discussion. I think it was Commissioner Meisner that had requested additional dollars going into foods, shelves and areas of that nature. So would you like to comment on that?
Oh, no. Well, I mean, originally, this was actually recommended by Commissioner Brassad. And then this year, we were also talking about the demand has unfortunately not decreased at all. And then with this tribal consistency fund, that was kind of the additional supplemental funds that we could get. I think we were all in agreement in terms of, yes, we should do this again. There was discussion, though, now that you brought it up, about like we should maybe look at reevaluating our current list of food shelves. What does that look like? And then going forward. And then, I guess I would just state as well that I know we said last year would be probably the only time we would be able to do these additional funds. Obviously, we're able to do it again now for a second year in a row, but I don't think we'll be able to do it for the third year in the row in 2024. So I do just want to make note of that, and certainly I communicate that with my local food shelves just so they can, budget accordingly.
Okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Jepson.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. The resolution is adopted. We'll move on to item 10, which is committee appointments. Under A, we have consider appointing Jenna Skinner as a community member to the Children's Mental Health Advisory and Coordination Council for a term ending October 31st, 2022. Is there a motion to approve that appointment?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Brassad.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jepson. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. Appointment. B is consider appointing or reappointing the following to the Community Correction Advisory Board for a 2-year term ending October 2025. Item 1 is appointing Pat Carlson representing District 4. Item 2 is reappointing Dr. Roger Warner representing Education. Is there a motion to approve those 2 appointments?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Meiser.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Schulte. Discussion, Commissioner Schulte.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would take this opportunity to again thank Don Chonas, who has served on that board as chair for many, many years as a representative of the district I represent, and just a huge advocate for community corrections, always working hard, always attending conferences, paying attention to important details, and we wish him best in his retirement from this position, and he will be surely missed. The new appointee, Pat Carlson, is a retired Coon Rapids police officer, liaison officer to the school system, very engaged with law enforcement and county functions. So he'll be, I believe, a great asset to that advisory board, and look forward to those interactions.
Thank you, Commissioner Schulte, for that. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those appointments are approved. And C then is consider appointing Community and Government Relations Director Karen Skepper as a voting delegate for Association of Minnesota Counties District 10, replacing the County Administrator Rhonda Silveraja for the remainder of program year 2023. Is there a motion to appoint?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Schulte, second by Commissioner Jepson. Discussion? Yep, Commissioner Meiser.
Yeah, no, just a question. So it's just for the rest of this year, and then in 2024, it would go back to the administrator, or?
Rhonda.
Mr. Chairman, members of the county board, so typically I am listed as one of the voting delegates. I will not be able to attend the December conference and wanted to make sure that this county had as full of voting strength as possible. And then in January, what happens is the county board appoints and reassigns all over again for the coming year.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Any comments from Karen? No? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? She is appointed, and that passes unanimously. And I believe that brings us to the end of our county board meeting. If there is nothing else to come before our meeting this morning, we will stand adjourned. Thank you.